we're running. No warning needed, Diego. I think we could knock this out in one take, but welcome back. I know we had a bunch of like scheduling conflicts last week, so
Yeah.
sorry about that, guys. I hope you enjoyed all the crazy Austin Reeves performances since then.
Jeez. Yeah.
But yeah, talk about crazy stat lines. Diego, what have you been up to besides watching your Dallas Mavs? Um, let's just say go through the season okay. Like I know AD's going through some things, but how are you doing? How do you think the Mavs are doing? Let's start there.
I'm doing okay. Just busy, and honestly, that was maybe the one thing that ruined my week the most last week was watching. I think Wednesday they were playing. I don't even know who they were playing, but then watching AD go out with like holding his Achilles after seeing Sham's report that he had like acute Achilles tendinopathy, and I'm like, yo, love Nico Harrison trading one overweight player with calf issues for another player that's kind of overweight with calf issues, and it's just actually had me livid. So honestly, trying not to pay attention because we lost against the Rockets last night. It's just Cooper Fly is getting cooked. I've been seeing that as well, but just trying not to focus on it because man, if I was the GM, we would not be anywhere close to this position. So anyway, and it just sucks. Clay, bro, what does Clay Thompson even do? There's memes online that Clay Thompson got like what's it called? Like the Monstars with the basketball. That basically like Megan Thee Stallion did that to him. Now he doesn't have. He's not as good anymore. I mean, he's also pretty old. Like, why do we have Clay Thompson on this team? It was because we had Luca on this team. Now Luca's not there. Anywho, this is like 8 months late, 9 months late. This is a whole pregnancy late. But it's okay. I'm still like pretty. I'm kind of just the fact that 80 is literally street clothes, bro. That's kind of what's got me riled in a negative way. But PJ Washington cooking. Oh, we got clapped by the Pistons in Mexico City. I wanted that game to actually be here
You
because
sounded excited about that.
well, I don't know. I'm happy the Pistons played well. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Durham played well, but I wanted to watch them here, and they're not going to play here. They're going to play in Dallas the other game, so kind of tough. That was just a rant of a Mavs fan, down horrendous,
I'm
unhappy with
laughing at
life.
Kevin Herter staring down a Sixers player while he's on the ground and he's holding the ball. It's funny. Um, Sixers up 12 on my Bulls, even
Mm,
though the Bulls started 5-0. So been pretty excited about them. Josh
yeah.
Giddey continuing his
Hmm.
excellence. I think the way the Bulls are playing at a fast pace has really, really been a difference maker here. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, they're playing exactly how Indiana was last season, last couple of seasons. Modest Buzelis taking another step forward.
Hmm.
Herter's become a better decision maker. Patrick Williams finally become a forward. So um, progress, a couple years late, but it's all right. Um,
Yeah.
understand it's 5 games into the season. They just lost New York the second time they faced them, and they're not doing well against VJ Edcomb's finest. He's going to be a star. We'll talk about him a little bit later, but
Yeah.
I think it's no accident they're scoring 37 points in the quarter, followed by 8 threes one game,
Hmm.
and they're seemingly just like making teams tired just trying to chase them because they don't have a number one option. And it's kind of to their it's really Giddy, but like Giddy had to improve his shooting and stuff. So um yeah, I've just been super happy with them. I just very curious to see what they do as the season progresses because if they get like a really, really great wing player, I think this team can go really far. Especially when you
Yeah.
have guys that you have out right now and you add like a great wing to pair with Josh Giddy. Look out. Look the heck out.
Yeah. I think I heard. I. Oh my God. Who did I hear this? It was a like just. I mean, Kobe White hasn't played, so the fact he hasn't played at all is very interesting in how that's worked out. So Vucevic has been playing well as well, even though he's getting up there in age. So it's been yeah, very surprising but good. I've seen Trey Jones do well a little bit. So very fun start to the year for the Bulls.
Alrighty, sweet. Well, they're on a 19-6 run as the quarter's closing, so they cut it
Wow.
down to a 9-point game. We'll see how they handle this. Although it's VJ Edgecombe versus Billy. No, they passed off. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm getting way too in touch with this game, but um, yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching if I don't concentrate here. But let's get into some film study.
Yeah.
There's something new we're doing on the NBA pod episodes. I found it really helpful doing the NFL podcast episodes. So we're implementing this as new this year. I think it'll be good to give the viewers a little bit of a glimpse into kind of what we see when we're watching some of these clips.
Mhm.
Um, so some of these are from games I haven't watched. I'll be reacting to them in real time. Diego hasn't seen these, of course, but I think they're indicative of great offenses, great defenses, and like player updates, like how players are progressing for their first season versus second season relative to first. Like you kind of get that insight directly through visuals. So here we go. Let's get into it. I
Yeah.
will share my screen, and that should work. Okay, cool. So first clip on the docket. You already know who it is. Oklahoma City Thunder through 7 games. Insane defensive stats. But what does that look like on the actual court? Well, I'm glad you pretended to ask because we'll see this over here. Let me go back to start the video here. Reed
Mhm.
Shepard just moving the ball up, doesn't see a shot to pass. Casey Wallace just somehow summons the ball towards him. I don't know how he got
Yeah.
that ball. It's just ridiculous.
And here we got, yep, 3 guys just converging on the ball in the paint.
And they know the ball is going to get passed out if they do that. And just
Mhm.
their reaction speed to the Pacers' potential counter move.
Yep.
They're really, really great at understanding like how the offense is going to react if they're in certain positions. Like just the presence of Caruso was like causing
Mhm.
I forgot who the Kings player is. All right, I think it's
Malik Monk.
okay, Malik Monk. Like
I
he
think
knew Caruso's there, so he's trying to like protect the ball, but didn't realize his defender is still there.
Casey
They just
Wallace.
they just do a good job like getting to the back of the
Hands.
offensive players to get the ball too.
Hands especially. I mean, I'm telling you, I think Casey Wallace is 6'3" with the 6'9" wingspan. You can tell in some of these clips. He's just put his arm out there. Look, Caruso as
Even
well. Like,
Caruso with the timing, it's just crazy. Like they know they recognize the action so well, and it's like just
mhm.
I think the IQ pops up the tape more so than like their defensive ratings and stats.
No, yeah, that's part of it, right? And the biggest thing, they're doing all this without Jalen Williams, at least being undefeated. And that to me is like, look at that. He just knows that's gonna happen.
Great pass
I
too.
This has happened to me like playing in a game where you see what a guy's gonna do and you just like, oh, I have to get there. And it's like hard to even teach. You can't teach it. It just happens. Oh,
You just have to recognize the concept, and that only comes with
yeah.
playing.
Mhm.
So yeah, just wanted to highlight that. OKC doing a phenomenal job. Just again continuing their defensive excellence.
Yeah, just clamp down and like last year,
All
guarding
right,
the paint.
Dekai Duncan. Didn't know he had a Twitter
Oh,
channel. Um,
yeah.
I thought this was very interesting as far as an offensive concept. I'll kind of rewind it back. They have Şengün kind of operating as the ball handler, and then Okogie with the screens. Okogie's shooting great, by the way, from 3-point range. I think he was
Yep.
shooting like 63% from some stats I was looking at.
Jeez.
But he's
Yeah.
also being used as a roller because of his aggressive physical like stature. You have to close out on him. That opens up a three for Jabari
Mhm.
Smith. So just interesting looks where you have Kevin Durant in the wing. You can't really leave him. But look how that kind of gravity between that and the action opens up a simple corner three. I think that's
Yep.
important to keep in mind.
And additionally, just the fact that look at the spacing. Wait, like if you could pause it right when Şengün gets the ball back on the screen, like right here, like pause it here. Look at all the space there is. Şengün has literally an ocean of space between. I don't know who's guarding the ball on the corner guy, but all that space he can drive, and that space for now 2 guys are gonna go to Şengün. Yeah, that
Yep.
leaves Okoro or not Okoro, Okogie, all that space. Then
And if
that
KD wanted,
action.
that's a time to back cut too.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
because you see this defender fully eyes in on him. KD
Mhm.
back cuts that could also open up the three. So there's lots of variations. Or look at where all the eyes are on the
Yep.
ball. Like literally, this is probably really bad Raptors defense to be honest too, because any one of these guys could take a back cut and they probably get a layup here.
Mhm.
But they stay where they're at, they get an open three out of it. So there's a lot of options you could take out of this look. So I think it's something you want to keep in mind when watching the Rockets offense,
Yep.
how they're getting their looks.
I guess a big thing, just last point here, is that people say like the NBA is just a 3-point shooting contest, and yeah, there's a lot of threes being shot. I'm not gonna say that, but it's watch how this was manufactured. These aren't set plays anymore. Like for the Heat as well, they're saying that Spo doesn't even run set plays. Yeah, because they're just concepts. They're like instead of a big sheet of instructions, you just get puzzle pieces that you learn, and you can put the puzzle together any way you want. That's what's fun about it. So
I pause it here because there's not a single defender outside of the paint within Jabari Smith's section. There's this guy coming close, but he hasn't even passed the free throw line.
yeah,
If you're able to create that kind of look consistently, that's all you can ask out of your offensive playmakers.
yeah,
This just comes down to shooting ability right
yep,
here. And if that's any shooter in the book of you that got that kind of look, that's an automatic layup. So,
yeah, man,
like as far as like ability to shoot and shooting efficiency from that spot, to
yeah,
get that wide open is rare in the league. So, yeah, good stuff from the Rockets. I'll be interested to see how this turns out because you normally see Şengün kind of in a post-up position. So,
yep.
yeah,
The
awesome
Rockets
stuff there.
also the Rockets are actually like really high
Oh, go ahead.
offensive rating currently. So that was surprising to me after that first game. I haven't watched them since, but seeing that play, it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Austin Reaves has been like putting up statistical like craziness
Yeah.
in last week. We hadn't really got a chance to recap it on the pod, so we'll do it right now, seeing how he's get his looks. And not all of them have been on the ball. This is simple, like just back cut, just being
Yep.
a defender. Now he has the ball in his hands, playmaker.
Beautiful.
Like he is initiating the offense without Luka, and they done. He's done a great job in JJ Redick's scheme and whatnot. Just
Hmm.
these are just like reading the defense type plays. Like it's not like anything crazy, but like
That,
he's just taking what the defense gives him, playing the
yeah.
right way. Like that's all you can say about it. So
There
just
was
wanted to shout
one
him out.
there's one there where Austin Reeves just gets around the first guy and it's just a layup. And not to discount Austin Reeves, but this is also against the Sacramento Kings, which are in a very tough spot in general. Although I think they beat the Bucks, but still, they're a very lackluster defensive team, and that one play made me chortle about that. But no, Austin
A
Reeves
lot of
showed
that
up.
was poor defense too. A lot of like
Yeah,
this is a tough contestant look. That's
no,
all
that's
Reeves,
that's
but like
all Reeves.
most of these plays you're seeing are like wide open, yes, but you really have to give credit to the offensive play because like
Easy.
that kind of look is
Yeah.
very difficult. But
No,
like he's
yeah.
just taking what the defense gives him the entire time and like playing at a really efficient level.
Hmm.
That was
Yes.
probably his worst decision ever, but you can't
Yeah.
really call that worst when like he's making the bucket behind it. So
Yep.
on a heater, and by the time like you have 23 seconds in the fourth quarter, like he's on fire. So crazy stat line 50, 10, and 9.
Gosh, man. Yeah.
Like I think I was telling you, almost a 51 point triple double is crazy. So
Yeah, I mean, part of a rash of but a bunch of people scoring a bunch of points to start this season. I'm not mad about it, but it's a lot. It's crazy.
it just makes you wonder what Michael Jordan would average.
It does make me wonder. Not for too long though.
Alrighty. Let's see here. So you look Denver Nuggets offense. This is the first time I think the viewers are actually seeing the action we're calling out here. So this is the action I love the most about the Nuggets. Um, right here is the Jokic to Murray handoff.
Yeah.
So once Murray gets this, this is against the Wolves, by the way. So I think this is Gobert. New hairstyle look
Yep.
or
Yeah.
look.
Unk.
Um, yeah, like this is clear pathway. If you get Gobert and Murray 1-on-1, easy buckets over here. So Jamal easily could drive down the lane with a hezzy pull up.
Hmm.
He's got whatever options, and you got Jokic with I don't know who this is, maybe Ant on his back.
Probably Jaden McDaniels.
Like
It's
that
easy.
that's such a tough look to stop because let's see if I can rewind it a bit. Like you have all these options here and you can't really leave. Like I know Conley's kind of in no man's land, but
Yeah.
like you can't really leave Brown and like Gordon because Gordon, like his first game was like 7 to 7 from three. It was like some
Yeah.
insane stat. Like, so you
Yeah.
can't leave any of these guys. And it kind of forces you in a bind when you see a look like this. So, like, no matter what the personnel changes around him, you got Bruce Brown, you got
Oh,
Hardaway, I think, and then
yep.
Cameron Johnson, new addition. But like, you're seeing all these looks and actions out of it, like, and they're still being effective with like generating efficient looks. So expect this Nuggets stable to continue going as the season, the playoffs go along. It's been really
Hmm.
effective with it.
Yep. And I love the off-ball movement by Tim Hardaway Jr. in that second clip, and even this little switch by Brown and Gordon. Um, yeah, a big thing you'll say is like, "Oh, the guys are just standing out there from three," and yeah, that happens sometimes. But look, Tim Hardaway Jr. going to float to the corner, move his man farther away from Murray to get even more space. That's critical. And even if that guy decides to help on Murray, that's an open three. And even
Or a back cut. Yeah.
yeah,
Like, it opens up a lot of other things. And if this guy who was guarding Cameron Johnson decides to try and like cover Jokic,
yeah,
wide open three. There's a
yeah,
lot of options how this looks. So this has me wanting to implement this in pickup somehow, and expect the others to like kind of read in on that. But yeah, just wanted to show that that action that Diego and I have always been verbally describing, still not going away. So
oh,
yeah,
no way. This I don't know where I heard it. It was in a college like highlights, but it's like in the NBA, if something works, you go back to it. That's it. They're not if it works, if it what is it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is the thing. Had to
yep.
needed that. Anywho, the
All right,
3J Edgecombe.
yep.
Had that right
This is
here.
the guy I was worried about. My Bulls about crazy block to start. Um, I
That's a
what you see
nasty.
here is like that athleticism is just immediately translating to the NBA, and usually you see that out of rookies, but, like, kind of the decision making too, like, he
Oh,
he doesn't seem phased by the league right now, and he's making tough shots, like, even against, like, pro competition,
yep.
nailing his wide open threes, so he's, like, taking advantage of every opportunity he gets. Um, I think he's already a star in the league, like, he's that good, and the Sixers got their future. I think a lot of people clowned on this team, like, to start the season because of health reasons,
Hmm.
but this team looks fine to be a top 5 team in the conference by season's
Yeah.
end. Like, I know they're hot right now, and they might have the 1 seed after beating the Bulls, we'll see, but, like, they're not going away. Like, they have a lot of pieces in place, a lot of disappointment from last year, but, like,
Yeah.
they've done everything they needed to this offseason, especially starting with this guy. Um, yeah, he and Maxey are gonna be lethal for years to come.
Hmm.
Just wanted to show, like, how he's getting his looks. It's not one way where he's, like, just dunking on people all the time or, like, just winning with athleticism. You're seeing a lot of tough shot making.
Yep. And the big thing on the Sixers, well, first on VJ Edgecombe, I think we all knew the athleticism was gonna pop. He's a I'll say it, he's a 1% athlete in the world, and for sure it looks like in the NBA. But the fact that his mind is caught up to the game really well. Something you see with rookies is where they handle the ball, turnover, they handle the ball, they're too someone athletic like that is too fast. They're playing too fast. No, he's in rhythm, calm, collected, and just really balling. And I think a big thing for the Sixers last year was like, oh, we got Embiid, who really coming off a great season, at least before he got injured, in 23-24 and PG, we might win a title. Well, this year they haven't had PG, they barely had Embiid, and they're playing great. And I think that's how you have to play. I was telling my friend like Embiid and PG are just like a little bit of icing on the cake. They're not the thing. They're there as extra. And McCain, Maxey, Edgecombe, those are the guys now. And McCain comes back tonight. Maybe that's why the Bulls are losing.
Yeah, I mean, but Kane was having a stellar rookie season too on top of it, so it just leaves
Hmm.
you to wonder, like, what is
Oh,
gonna what's gonna happen when you have McCain, like Maxey and like VJ Edgecombe, like firing on all cylinders.
oh my
All right.
God. Yeah.
Um, I was gonna talk about the Bulls, but I think we talked about them ad nauseum when talking about their 5 no starts. I'm doing a little bit of a pivot here
Oh,
on like what we plan to cover. I know Diego, I know you wanted to talk about the Bucks zone defense. I'm unable to find any clips on them so far, so I'll let you take it away and describe like what they're doing holistically and trends you're seeing throughout the league regarding zone defense here.
yeah. So, wait, I had this on full screen. I just wanted to mute because I was drinking my water. Anywho,
You're good.
um, so I was just watching Bucks Raptors. Very surprising. At first surprising that the Raptors are just smacking around the Bucks. At least last time I checked. And but one thing I saw it is also a back to back for the Bucks, so it makes sense that they're not playing as well. But the one thing I saw tonight is they're playing a bit of a zone. This is more what the bench guys in Portis, Cole Anthony, Kyle Kuzma, Torian Prince, and did I say Bobby Portis? I think I said him first. But anywho, yeah, and so just seeing how they started off in a zone. At first, I thought it was a 4-out 1-in zone, but that doesn't make sense. It was a 2-3 zone, and like say if you have three guys overloading, offensive guys overloading on one side, um, like the guy in the middle is kind of hesitantly stepping up a little bit just in case, but those two guys are trying to cover three. The two guys on the edge of the 2-3. I know not very clear, but it's just reminded me of a trend I've been hearing about in the NBA where I think a video by either Daniel Lee or Thinking Basketball where a lot nowadays there isn't really a perfect zone or perfect man strictly defense. Even if you think of a man right now, you think everyone's guarding their guy, but if the ball handler's defender gets beat, the help side guy's coming up behind to help, and then you're gonna X out on that side as well. That's that's a zone concept. And now in zone, we're seeing where teams will play zone, and as the shot clock goes down, they then go stick to the guy closest to them and do a man for the last few seconds. It's a very interesting wrinkle where, man, 10 years ago, I mean, I was also like 15. I didn't understand anything, but I could not have imagined a team would play zone into man, and I had no idea the man had those kind of concepts. So it's kind of this fluidity of man and zone where at first you're like man zone, no man's land here, but now you're getting into a spectrum of kind of this weird, funky stuff where you can say like, oh, when this happens, we'll then go to man and be like clamp them up and not let them do anything, and stuff like that in rotations, and it's just very interesting concepts, and it's some of these that are really new. Another one I've noticed or heard a lot about is picking up full court. Obviously, well, who's the NBA is a copycat league, and who did everyone get that from? The Indiana Pacers, who went on the craziest, most unpredicted run, I think, in the last few years, besides the Mavs. And so that's something everyone's taking. The Raptors, especially the Raptors, watching them just now, they're playing at a breakneck pace. Like they get the ball up the court on a fast break, boom, three. And I was like, was that really the shot you wanted? But the commentator is like, yeah, they have to get shots, as many shots as possible. And so it's very interesting these concepts that are being taken and used. And I know the Pelicans for sure. I don't know about the Thunder. And there's another team that had been doing it a lot. Definitely not the Bucks though. The Bucks aren't pressing like that. But it's very interesting to see. Oh wait, the Blazers, because the Blazers are a whole different thing with all the
Thiago
size they
Splitter's
have.
doing a phenomenal job, by the way.
Yep.
What a job, man. This is insane.
Yeah, that's why you gotta stay ready, man. Who knows when the guy above you is gonna get arrested for gambling?
Yeah. Honestly, on the pod, we're probably not going to speak too much on it because there's a
Yeah.
lot of facts that are still trying to be figured out. And obviously, we're trying to stick with this and like purely like film basketball where guys are improving, and
Hmm.
we don't want to risk talking about things that we don't know all the information to. So
Yeah.
that's all. I'll leave it on there for that. But um, obviously, I think you brought up a lot of great points. I think it's a very interesting concept because I'm not trying to say I've coned ownership of this, but I would do this in 2K just to mess my brother. Like I'll run like half
Yeah.
court presses, then like turn it into 2-3 or 3-2 and man, and I'll just change the coverage every time. Because for me, I love like gaming defenses like Madden, like 2K, like that.
Hmm.
But the reason why you would do that in the first place is just from having a defensive philosophy on it.
Yep.
You don't want the offense to have easy reads. Like you don't
Yeah.
want them to go in man coverage and be like, "Oh, if you're just man on man, let me just find the guy that's the weakest defender."
Hmm.
Or if you're doing 2-3, here are where your weaknesses are. Let's just get our guys in your weak spots and then get looks from there every single time.
Yeah.
You don't want to telegraph what you're gonna do and make it easy on the offense to get into efficient and easy shots. So
Mm,
this is a workaround where it's like you have no idea if we're going to start out in 2-3 or 1-3-1 or 2-3 and blend it in the man. But I promise you, you're going to have a contested shot at some point. I think it's genius.
yeah.
I think it makes the offensive players like focus on beating you conceptually and with IQ rather than like, oh, I'm just better a shooter than you. I'm going to get to the hole faster than you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now you have an element of like creative thinking in the game where a lot of the passers and readers of the game can succeed. And the game is
Mm,
transitioning there. And I, for one, am a fan of it because now it's just not about like keeping as many threes as you can. It's not about who can get the most points. Now it's about how do you get the most efficient looks against defenses because you don't know like how momentum is going to change if they get their hands on the ball. You got to worry about so much and value in possessions. Like as I say that, the Bulls turn it over, of course.
yeah.
But um, I think it's genius, and I love where the league is headed in that regard. Um,
Hmm.
I think the full court press is a great idea, but you got to have the personnel for it. Like the Bulls running out and like having the offense that they are and pushing the pace, like that's because they built offensive personnel and like bought into that philosophy. If you don't have every lineup that can do that, who's going to run your guys into the ground? So you got to be smart about how you execute that.
Hmm.
So that's my
Yeah.
thoughts on it.
Another big thing is um, we've noticed, everyone's noticed recently in the last few seasons, last year in the playoffs, people are getting injured. And I have a feeling it's because players are playing in infinitely more space than at any other time in league history. You have to guard up to 30 feet from the basket. And it's a different game and more stress and more everything on your joints. So that goes again with if you're going to play harder, you're going to need more guys to play. And again, another thing the Pacers did, they went extra deep in their bench, playing guys like um, T.J. McConnell, Ben Shepherd, having going so deep like this, it's very important, especially I think now in the NBA. So that's another trend I've seen, and yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good, and it also helps more guys play in the league. People are calling for expansion, and the deeper teams go, the more good NBA players will be on the court.
All right. Last topic I want to bring up for today's episode.
Yeah.
We love Wemby. We're like always raved about him, like last year, like leading up to the draft, like leading up to when he was coming into the league.
Hmm.
He's here. The Spurs are here, and I know Dylan Harper got hurt, and I know that sucked.
Yeah.
That's what led to the Suns' loss, and they did not look the same against the Suns. But against the Heat, who are doing pretty good by the way to start the season. Um, Wemby had 18 rebounds, 27 points, 6 assists, 5 blocks.
Yep.
Diego, you knew what he did against the Mavs. Talk to me about the Spurs and like how nobody seemed to like see them coming to start of the season.
Yeah. I mean, no one saw him coming because they might have been still expecting last year's Wemby. Wemby that's just shooting threes. Wemby that's not using all his footwork, all the stuff he learned. I don't know if I talked about it last time, but my man trained with not just Hakeem Olajuwon, with Kevin Garnett, and like did a bunch of other things. But basketball wise, those are the two main ones. I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon is the master of footwork, especially with bigs. And now you have a guy that's literally 7'7". You got the 7'7" right here, like with that kind of footwork, and it shows how killer he is. And I think in the Suns game, not only Dylan Harper being out, getting injured, but the way they're literally all over him. And that's your only hope at this point. He's gotten stronger, but he's still not the strongest guy on the court. And you have to just body him up, throw bodies, multiple bodies at him, and then pray to whoever you pray to that whoever he's passing to is missing that shot or making a bad decision. That's all you can really do. And with Dylan Harper out, that's one less good decision maker. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for the Spurs, but especially for the younger guys, like I mean, Carter Bryant might get more minutes, and that could be excellent for them. Vassell, hopefully for my fantasy team, gets more action. But anywho, it's gonna be a test for these Spurs to really show and help them grow for what is in the future. I mean, I think the Spurs right now think they can make the playoffs, and if you can really learn from this stretch here, even if you lose a few games and have some of those deeper guys get better, it's gonna be huge. So and Wemby's gonna Wemby. That's not gonna change. My man can shoot terribly and still have an impactful game because of all that he does defensively. So, yeah.
One stat I found wild, just
Hmm.
reading an article about this. He's already passed Danny Green for ninth place on the Spurs all-time blocks list
Oh, okay. Oh,
with a
thank God.
451 blocks. You know how
Okay,
many games Wemby's played in his career in the NBA?
sub 200 for sure.
122, and he has 451 blocks.
Uh, that's over 3 a game.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I
Um,
was You mentioned Danny Green. I got scared you meant threes, and then you said ninth, and I was like, okay, it's not threes. That was very scary. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah,
I
but I
mean,
mean, the point was like,
hmm,
this guy's he's a baby,
yeah,
and he's already here. Like, it's kind of remarkable what he's doing.
yeah,
Um, like as the season comes along, like I'm watching him. Let's see here. Can't play the video here as I'm like doing it, but like you're watching him just like pick up the ball full court after block, just driving down the
yeah,
length of the court, like getting to his shot or like pulling up for three, and just like 7 guys aren't supposed to do that. And if he's
hmm,
having that kind of impact on the game, that's demoralizing. Like I don't care what you say, but basketball is kind of like an emotional sport,
yeah,
and if you're not like mentally strong, that's just going to ruin the entire game. I've seen guys shy away from driving into the paint just because of the
yeah,
sheer size of him. That's the kind of impact he's having. And um, look at right now, they're going to be a top 4 or 5 seed in the West by season's
yeah,
end. There are if everybody's healthy, they're right there. De'Aaron Fox hasn't even played yet, and you've seen what Stephon
yeah.
Castle did last year. Um, look out, look out.
No, definitely be careful out there. And I think, yeah. Oh,
Oh, Vooch, are you kidding me?
I think the biggest thing is these plays, which in my opinion, are like my man can make a 5 point swing on his own, block a shot. And he won't even get the rebound. He's like, give me that back right now." And he just walks up, boom, 3 pointer in your face. Like that's a 5 point swing. You could be down four, and Wemby could just say, "You know what? I'm dialing in right here. I'm getting this block, and then I'm chucking this three up, and I'm making that." And what? Who's you need someone his height or taller to even contest that three, and there's no one in the league that can do that. Like, I was talking to my friend about it, and he's like, he didn't say he was scared, but he's just like, "Oh, it's not fair, man." And we're not even there yet. We're like 2 years out from where he's the best player in the league, and it's gonna be like worse than the KD Warriors. I
He
like,
could win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year
yeah,
by season's end.
I think, yeah, and I think currently the only I don't know why I saw something about this recently that Michael Jordan's the only player to win Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, and MVP, and Wemby might be that player. I mean, you have like channels like Thinking Basketball saying this guy might be the GOAT. And I mean, it's hard to say that's not possible because he's so dang tall. So it's baffling and scary. So yeah, I'm telling you, man, whoever in the West in the league, if you want to get a ring, these are your times because it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's all I got. Like the Spurs are here. Don't discount them. Like
Yeah,
the West got even more challenging if it wasn't already. All right, I'm gonna finish watching the Bulls disappoint me yet again. They cut it down
yeah,
to 3, which means they'll definitely lose this game after coming back. But thank you guys for watching. You can follow us on our Instagram channel at amon.a.mission.
yes,
Um,
sir.
if you guys loved our new format, let us know. We're probably going to look for that zone defense that we talked about earlier today
Hmm.
and that overall concept of blending zone and the man. So you guys get a better picture for it. But if you guys have any film requests, like on players you want to see, offensive concepts you liked, or teams that are hot,
Yeah.
let us know. We're happy to incorporate that. All right, Diego, anything for the audience before you let us go?
Last night I dropped my career high, 21 points, 5 threes made, kind of sick.
While I'm
Got to
at
stay
it,
up
yesterday I
tomorrow.
dropped a game winner and pickup.
Whoa,
It's crazy. I was jumping all over the place.
it's
Almost
real.
blocked a shot too from a guy like getting his shitty motion up, but yeah, it's rough.
Nice.
I've been doing a little bit of the Indiana Pacers where like after I contest a shot, I'm just like sprinting down the
That's
court,
a
and like
lot.
I'm usually wide open, just hopeful the guy can get me the pass. But
That's
yeah,
a
I'm
heck
trying to
of a
find my
lot.
shooting touch after, because I've been hooping after weightlifting, the day after weightlifting, and it's
Yeah.
not still getting my body adjusted to it. But props to you, man. Career
Yeah.
high, like having an impact there. Like I've been there where you're shooting threes, like and seeming like nobody can stop you, and
Yep.
that's the best feeling ever. So,
Yeah,
um,
man.
good job, Diego.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So doing good. Thanks for
Alrighty,
watching me,
guys,
Sean.
you take it easy. We'll see you next week. Peace
See ya.
out.